Hello, folks, and thanks for joining today's session. Today, we're going to cover what's new with Sumo Security with myself, Jason Dunn, and Dana Torgerson. We'll go into a little bit of introductions in the next couple of slides here. So for today's session, what we're going to cover are, as I mentioned, we'll cover some quick intros, and then I'll dive into the latest releases from a cloud security monitoring perspective within our app catalog, within the core platform. And Dana Torgerson will cover the top 5 recent cloud SIEM features. And then we'll kind of chat through a couple of kind of next steps or potential options you have as you progress towards getting to know the Sumo Logic offering. So my name is Jason Dunn. I'm a product marketing manager here at Sumo Logic, really focused on, primarily security monitoring and security analytics within the Sumo Logic core platform. Super passionate about automation, search-based analysis, data visualization. All these things really dovetail really nicely with a lot of the aspects of our product. And Dana Torgerson, who is Director of Product Marketing on the security side for Sumo Logic, a 14-year veteran in the InfoSec industry, and he's got expertise in threat detection, SIEM tools, endpoint detection response, network security technologies, including firewalls, web protection, and email security. And the list goes on. This is just a short list as I understand it, because Dana's a very multi-talented man.
Well said. Well said.
So just to kind of do some really quick stage setting here before we dive into the cloud security monitoring and analytics, and then the cloud SIEM side for Dana. This is kind of an overarching view of the Sumo Logic security intelligence solution, set of solutions. So on the left, you can see audit and compliance, which is on our core continuous intelligence platform. It's really focused on determining compliance and posture management, and how you look to drive and accelerate audit season, for example. The second piece over, which again is still within the same platform, this is continuous intelligence platform, is cloud security monitoring and analytics. Really, the focal point here is monitoring, which we'll get into today, detection, search, investigation, all are sort of rolled up into monitoring and analytics as the overarching solution, really allowing you to kind of investigate the security incidents and really have the threat benchmarking analytics in place to improve your security posture, whether it's a security engineering team, or even in some cases, it could be, just as another example, a DevOps team that's focused on improving security from a kind of a little different angle. And then on the third kind of column over, we have cloud SIEM. So a lot to be said there. That really does warrant its own session. We've run many sessions kind of more as an intro to cloud SIEM on its own. Essentially, the focus here is on really automatically being able to triage alerts, detect threats, really perform the threat hunting and investigation that's required in order to allow for SOC teams to really tackle security incidents in the most kind of in the most comprehensive way, and also in a repeatable way. And then cloud SOAR on the fourth column here would be all about improving that SOC efficiency with progressive automation, orchestration, and really insightful decision making overall, where you can actually build out these kind of automated playbooks that allow for really truly repeatable processes, and also just a better a better approach or even kind of philosophy, if you will, as to how you want to tackle incidents as they occur. So digging into what was kind of the second column on the last slide, we're talking here about cloud security monitoring and analytics and some of the new announcements around that we are really excited about. So for today, I'm primarily going to focus on the Sumo Logic app catalog, which is essentially content that's available out of the box. It's built out by a wide variety of our teammates, whether it's our solutions engineers or technical account managers, sales engineers, our product managers, our software engineers are all contributing towards making sure that our customers have the right out of the box content to really be able to get off into the races on day one. From the moment that you spin up a free trial, as long as the data is there, you can very much light up a dashboard and get some really interesting insights flowing from that. So in light of that, you can see in the top right of the slide that there's kind of the list of what it would look like within the app catalog. This eye icon kind of indicating as part of this cloud security monitoring and analytics grouping. And Here, I'm just going to touch on the 5 first apps that we rolled out for the latest batch. As we kind of think more about cloud security monitoring as an offering, we felt that this is a really important opportunity to build kind of that cross section of really critical data sources that we hear really commonly as a need from our customers, as well as really being able to use what we call our new style of dashboards, which allows for really more intricate template variables. It allows for the ability to actually mix and match metrics as well if you want to bring in that element into the dashboard, and also just like a very much an overall kind of cleaner user experience and user interface. So for these first 5 that we have rolled out in the last couple of months, the focus here is on Palo Alto Networks, Linux, VPC Flow, AWS CloudTrail, as well as Windows. For each of these, there's a security monitoring lens that kicks off kind of more of an overview of the dashboard that shows that initial look at, okay, what is going on with all of my VPC flow data, and how do I identify the most interesting or important spikes, drops, anomalies, etc. And from there, you're able to actually identify that needle in a haystack, really go deeper. And then that's where we would describe them as security analytics dashboards, is where you can actually go and with the identification of that needle in the haystack and say, okay, based on the fact that we're seeing a spike in logins, for example, I want to go in and actually see all of the privileged activity that's occurring within my Windows or my Linux data, for example, and really go deeper and have more understanding, then pivot out to the query from there. So VPC Flow, AWS CloudTrail, obviously both AWS products, which takes us into the next slide. The focal point of this most recent batch, which is rolled out just in the last couple of weeks here, is really thinking about how do you take an AWS-focused approach for shops that are primarily AWS, or you could be multi-cloud where it's AWS plus GCP, AWS plus Azure, and you're taking guard duty, web application firewall data, as well as security hub data. And again, for each of these, they're available in the app catalog to be able to kind of take that overarching view initially and then dive deeper. I think each of the 3 of these in these screenshots are kind of are good examples of how you can easily identify kind of an outlier or unexpected type of behavior that you may not have been anticipating in a very visual sense. And that's kind of the beauty and purpose of any dashboard, right, is to really have that ability. I should mention that any of these panels, as I mentioned earlier, you can pivot out into the individual searches. If you save them down, you can actually save them down as alerts, and those alerts would then fire to your security engineering team in order for them to really react accordingly and build around that. So next slide. Last but not least, the cloud security monitoring category is shown here in the left screenshot. So this is really where you can go all from one place and kind of make decisions around what the right data sources are that you want to dig into, and then go off in the correct direction based on what your team's requirements are. And then on the right side, just a quick shout out again, where this is a part of the larger core, core platform or continuous intelligence platform, which allows you to really have a better sense of what's going on with your AWS data, GCP data, Azure data, Palo Alto Networks data, et cetera. List goes on. But of course, additionally, you can build out your own custom content, whether you're taking one panel and then attaching that onto your own dashboard, et cetera. You have a lot of options around that. So with that, I'm actually going to pass the baton off to Dana, and he will cover the Cloud SIEM portion of today's session.
Well, very good. This is awesome. Thank you, folks, for joining Illuminate and giving us the time to walk you through all these new features that we've got. For Cloud SIEM, I wanted to walk you through these top 5 recent features. And the theme, if we were to attach a theme to these features, is that our product and our engineering teams, they're continuing to greatly improve the usability and reduce the time that it takes to manage content and increase context for your investigations. So in that spirit, let's take a look at the first one here that worked on with the team, rule tuning. So tuning is that part of that detection and that customization process that you're working with when you're using our Cloud SIEM. And it's specific to each of the different customers. Now, It's regularly used if you're going to exclude entities. And again, a quick reminder for folks, entities are anything like an IP address, a host name, a MAC address, or with our new custom entities capability, it could be anything. It could be something like a CEO's laptop, or just calling something IT or anything to that degree. And this is where you would exclude not just entities, but also net blocks, IP addresses from creating or firing off signals. A great example of that, if you think about vulnerability scanners and how you wouldn't want them creating signals. So this feature enables you to customize Sumo's global rules. And what's great about that is that you don't have to copy and manually keep them in sync like you would have previously, or that you have to with other traditional or even other next-gen SIEM solutions that are out there. So we're still offering you these 500 plus rules that we're maintaining and managing and curating with our threat engineering team. But now with this rule tuning capability, you can get in there and have that granularity and ensure that the changes that you make aren't going to get wiped out. And overall, this is significantly going to reduce the time that you spend managing your rules. Item number two, feature number two, tagging. Now, tagging allows analysts to be able to get more context when they're going to be triaging insights that we've surfaced. And there's two types of tags we want to remind you of. There's the schema-based tag and also a free form or custom tag. For schema-based, this is actually built in, and it's based on the MITRE ATT&CK framework. And that's where you're having different tactics and techniques being flagged or created as tags, as shown below here on the particular screen. And that is allowing you to understand which signals and which insights have those tags. And those are schema-based. Now, freeform is great because you as the analyst, you get to enter your own custom words and your own tags as you deem fit. And again, an example down the bottom here, an example of the freeform is developer. So this is something clearly for the dev team that you're going to say that, this insight or this signal is attributed to them or impacts them in some way, shape, or form. You also have the ability to populate one or more tags when you're creating a new detection rule. And a good example of our rules, we've got 4 right now. We've got threshold, chain, match rules, and also aggregation rules. And you can assign custom tags to your entities, as I mentioned before, like exec or IT, etc. And these tags are then searchable when you're inside the Cloud SIEM user interface and also via our API that we use. And tags are displayed in a list and the detail views across your records, your signals, and your insights. So this is great. Hope you folks are using this and have noticed it when we turned it on the last couple of months. Now, item number 3 here, username and domain normalization. Now, this is allowing for common name formats among Active Directory, working with your AWS and your FQDN names to be normalized and do so into a domain and a username format. So this enables you as the analyst to reduce the number of formats that you're going to be normally trying to juggle when you're creating rules. Normally, you might have had a host name, AD domains /host name at add ad-domain.x, and doing another domain with a $sign. And normally you would have had to have created and mapped out individual rules for each one of these different ones. But now with this capability, and I've got a screenshot on the right here showing an example of what that looks like with the ease of use, the checkboxes kind of being wizarded through, driven through this particular creation. So as you can imagine, this is going to reduce the overall number of rules that you need to maintain and the number of rules that you're going to have to manage and the time that you spend managing these rules. Another great feature. This was another thing I wanted to point out too is that we're also continuing to roll out more of these same types of ways to make this more effective and more valuable for you, our users. And so look forward to some more great things to come. Okay, now I think we're at number 4, context actions. You could chalk this up as kind of an oldie but a goodie. Context actions, some folks use it, heavy users, and we love that. Other folks are just scratching the surface or might not have even known about the feature's existence. So thought we would bring it up here. Context actions allows you to quickly access the resource outside of your Cloud SIEM. And this helps you to gain context for a given field that you might have when you're looking at, say, a particular record or a signal or an insight. And there's 2 types of these context actions. There is the system context actions, which effectively is a built-in context action ready ready to go for you right now, even if you just spun up your system and deployed for the first time. And also user-defined context actions. And you set them up easily. It's inside of the UI, and I've got an example of what that looks like. Here they're setting up a context action for Cisco Talos Reputation Center. And when it's selected, to open up a URL template and do so for any of these following types. So what this means is that when you hover over that field, and it looks like 6 little blue dots or 6 little squares next to a record or an insight or field, then you could have the IP, domain name, username, hash name, or URL, etc. And then you would just, from this pull down, choose the action that you want to take. In this case, the action is your target, and this will be sent as a query to your target by using, in this case, Cisco Talos Reputation Center. And this doesn't have to be just this. This could be punching out to virus total. This could be you using Cisco Talos, and even Sumo Logic. We have that ability to enter that in. So you could drill down into all of your Sumo Logic data that's sitting in the platform, in your environment, and you'll love it because you're not having to type anything up. It's all pre-formatted. It's just click and go. So all of your tradecraft, all of the tools and the tricks that you use, your favorite tools that you perform, all of those different lookups, this provides a central location for you to actually launch to and leverage those tools right wherever you need them, when you need them, from a central place. By the way, you can also define a time window. So you could, like, say, send an IP address to a target, but limit it to a specific date or a time range only. And that's great, especially if you're, what happened to this IP address 24 hours ago, 7 days ago, 7 weeks ago, and so forth. So that is context actions. Definitely use it. Definitely take advantage of that. The final one here, number 5, is global intelligence for security insights. This is great. This is a global confidence score that we've developed that helps you better understand if an insight is likely to be a true positive or not. And it has a range in the score that we generate for you, and it's for your insights, a range from 0 to 100 in increments of 5. The higher the number, the higher the confidence that this is an actionable insight for you to take action on. Therefore, it's a true positive. And so it's powered by crowdsourcing across all of our other Sumo Logic Cloud SIEM customers. And it's predicted, the numbers predicted and applied inside of your environment based on our machine learning model. So we're analyzing patterns of signals in insights that have been witnessed or closed by other Cloud SIEM customers like yourselves. And it also then takes into consideration your own customized content that you've written and are using in your own environment, say your tuned rules and your customized rules. The beauty of this is how it feeds the system, how it feeds the machine in our models to predict these numbers, which benefits everybody globally, all the other Cloud SIEM users. All you really have to do is your normal day-to-day job, because the model is fed whenever you close your insights as it's a resolved solution or it's a false positive. That's it. Very simple, very straightforward. We love this feature. This is a feature that we've been working on since back in 2020. We're so happy that we got this out. I think it was just a couple months ago, in July of 2021. So we've covered a lot. There's so much going on in the product, and there's so much going on with the product and engineering teams as well, building these solutions that Jason was walking you through earlier. So really, we've got this concept of next steps that we want to lay out to you. We want you to be able to stay engaged with us, because together we are truly helping to modernize SOCs, including your own SOC, hopefully, around the globe with others. So number 1, go deeper. Go deeper with our technical documentation. Learn more about these features that we just shared with you today and all of the other features in our technical documentation. You go to it at help.sumologic.com, or just click on it right within your Sumo Logic platform, right inside the UI. Number 2 here, we want you to share your ideas with us. Let us know if you have a particular feature request. Simply reach out and contact your Sumo representative, whether it's your technical account manager, your professional services engineer that you're working with, or your customer success manager. That information feeds into our product team, who's able to then look at it and understand how we could best produce that solution or something similar to it, and then, of course, task the engineering team to actually build that feature. So then here we are getting in front of you to release the next features for the product. And on the right-hand side, tell the world, let us know how we're doing, and write your own review on Gartner Peer Insights to anonymously share your thoughts on your Cloud SIEM deployment. And I've actually got a QR code right here, so I'll linger if you want. You could take out your phone, use your camera, and take a snap of that, and that'll drive you right, not to our site, directly to Gartner.com and their Peer Insights review site. You have to create a LinkedIn connection or set up a Gartner account if you already are not a Gartner paying client. And that allows you to get in, and this should allow you to get right into Sumo Logic Cloud SIEM and leave a review. Or while you're there, check out all the other peers just like you who have left reviews already. And you can get a sense of what they're saying about the product, and that might echo what you're experiencing with the product as well. But most of all, just please share it with others and share with us, because this is how we're building a better product for everyone. So with that, I'll turn it back to you, Jason.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Dana. So, just a quick thank you to everyone that joined the session today. The topic on what's new with Sumo Logic security is something that both Dana and myself are very excited about. And this is almost just kind of a tip of the iceberg of a lot of other, not only things to come, but things that have been built out in the past that we're excited about to kind of get into more detail with you. So with that in mind, feel free to reach out. We have our email addresses listed here. If there's someone that's a better match for the question that pops up, we'll absolutely connect you with that person as well. And really looking forward to having you join for the rest of the Illuminate sessions as well today. So I think you'll have a really good time just getting to know the Sumo Logic community as a whole. And so with that, I will say thank you so much for joining, and see you in a future session.